not really looking at anything, but just if you prefer to have your eyes open, then that's something that you can do. Let them rest kind of down at, kind of following on past the tip of your nose, somewhere in front of your knees. Somebody's here from Belgium. Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks everybody for your warm greetings. Yeah, and thank you for joining us this evening for this practice. So I'll spend a little while just kind of getting us, I suppose, into our bodies and arriving, and then doing the practice. And yeah, my preference is then at the end kind of go into a compassion, wishing everybody well practice. So we probably that's the general theme for this evening. I want you to remember to, although you may start in one posture, sitting up, if you become uncomfortable sitting, remember this is not about your stamina or your capacity to be stoic and endure discomfort. If you're uncomfortable, then I really want you to tend to your body. And if you need to lie down or stand up or even gently move, if you start to cramp up a little bit, yeah, you have permission. I invite you warmly to do any of those things so that you can be comfortable. And you can have a couple of things that might also help. A little cushion for behind your back if you need back support. And I tend to get discomfort in my shoulders, so having a pillow or something that you can rest your arms on so that there isn't the heavy weight of your arms hanging down out of your shoulders, that can be helpful as well. Maybe you like to have a cushion under your feet just to give your feet some soft surface to be resting on or to protect them from the cold. Hi Irma, great to have you here too. So if you're ready to start, then just letting go of the day. Just as when we come home, when we're loaded down with heavy shopping, we might have sore hands, might have been bumping those bags into our legs and feeling discomfort. Yeah, sometimes the experience of the day could be like that. So we can put down the bags, we can let go of the traffic or the exchanges that we've had. If the mind is still busy, agitated at all, or distracted by anything, yeah, give your mind, you've plenty of time, give your mind 5 minutes to come into land. It's just doing what it does. And if you find that it's really, really loud and demanding your attention, and I'd really encourage you to just breathe out slowly through your mouth as if you were breathing out through a straw. You can kind of purse your lips as if you're about to whistle and just slow breath in. Nice slow breath out, and just repeat that a few times. If you, like me, have a little bit of hay fever, then having some water nearby to soothe any tickle in your throat or ease any itch or discomfort there, by all means have that close to hand so that you can be more comfortable. You can do that for a little while longer if you like, or you can stop if you feel it's had the desired effect. And you might find yourself just noticing sounds, the sounds that are just outside the window, elsewhere in the building, or nearby in the room. You might notice how you're feeling, if you're feeling relaxed, glad to be at the end of the day, or other emotions. And if there's anything persistently, you might even not be able to identify it, but something persistently snagging your attention. It's like being caught by the head. You can allow yourself to give a big sigh. If you've ever used a pressure cooker, and you know that taking that weight off the pressure cooker allows some of the pressure to escape. There can be a big whistle, a big noise, and then the intensity of the pressure is reduced. So these breaths and those big sighs have a similar effect on us. It can take a little bit of practice, but it's worth trying. And then maybe just allow your breath to return to its own normal. You don't need to do anything with your breath. Your body will continue to breathe itself. You might notice the contact points, those parts of your body that are being supported by the surface you're resting on. Might be the floor under your feet, or the seat of your chair underneath you, the backrest behind you. Or it might be a sofa or a mattress under the back of your body, with a few well-placed cushions or pillows under your knees or under your head and neck. And just noticing that surface, if it's firm or soft, even or uneven. You might notice if it's some synthetic texture, smooth, or some other patterned fabric that you're lying on or sitting on. You might even be able to notice you can feel that through your clothing. That can be interesting, can't it, to notice all of these different textures. The touch of the underclothes that we're wearing, the outer clothing, and then other textures like carpets or cushions or mattresses or blankets. And you might notice some places of more intense pressure, usually in those bonier parts of the body, through the heels, through the sacrum or the sitting bones, along the spine or across the shoulders in the shoulder blades. Along the arms or in the elbows. You might notice what your hands are resting on, if they're by your sides or on your lap or on your belly. With each breath out, we're letting go of any effort. No need to clasp our fingers or interlace them. No need to keep them clenched in fists or holding anything. Just letting them be soft. And feeling whatever is underneath your head. The back of the chair, the cushion, the back of the sofa. Letting your body be supported. Even if we're sitting and we want to be upright, we can do that with minimal effort, just making sure that our bum is tucked right into the back of the chair. And the chair almost keeps our spine in that nice alignment, supporting our lower back. And as we trust the chair, we can let go of that holding an effort in the core muscles at the front of the tummy. As you do that, you might notice that sensation of the body moving with the breath there in the belly. You might notice feeling a little more present now, as if you've arrived, you've come into land in this moment, in this body. And if it feels pleasant to be here, maybe letting a little smile lift the corners of your mouth. You might be feeling quite glad that you've made the time to give yourself this nourishing meditation, this connection with your meditation community. Carved it out for yourself out of your busy day. Part of your self-care routine. You might have seen some familiar faces, some friendly faces. So just allowing your little smile to reflect that. And there are many of us here who live with chronic pain or health conditions. Some might be quite new in our experience. We're still adapting to them, getting used to them, learning more about ourselves with these aches and pains and different limitations to how it used to be. So maybe noticing if there's an ache or a discomfort or some feeling. Could be stress, anxiety, could be emotional or mental discomfort that brings a frown into the forehead. So if that's true for you at all, just breathing into that, turning towards that a little bit and just acknowledging it's here. Part of the landscape of our moment. Allowing ourselves to just softly breathe into that. Might be a very familiar sensation that you're noticing, or a familiar spiral of thinking. And just inviting it to be here with us, making room for it on the chair or the mattress, not trying to push it off or turn away from it, but accepting that it's here now. It's interesting, really, at times. There might be some unpleasant sound in our awareness, and we might have a big reaction to it. A big train of thought pulls out of the station. We start to ruminate or give out about it. We can feel ourselves getting tight or tense about it. Might even be tempted to put in earplugs and somehow prevent ourselves from hearing that irritating sound. And yet at the same time, within the soundscape, there are wood pigeons softly cooing. There are lovely sounds of the ocean in the distance, or silence, evening birdsong. And if we try to completely mute the unpleasant, we inadvertently mute all the pleasant at the same time. But if we can just allow some of those less pleasant experiences that we have to just be here, one of the threads of the tapestry. Sometimes a deep, rich colour, an amazing seam. It seems to lose its power to disturb us so much. It seems to turn the volume down on it a little bit as we broaden out our awareness. And maybe choose to focus on some of the other sounds of nature or the silence that we can hear. And if there's anybody who's really, really dealing with something intensely difficult at the moment, maybe just placing your hand on your chest, near where your heart is, just gently letting it rest there and wishing yourself well. May things go well for me. May my health improve. May I feel a little bit better. May my fatigue be reduced. May I have peace. May I be peaceful. May I have peace of mind, peace in my heart. Maybe just peace in this moment with this breath. May I be safe as I sit or lie here in this room, in this space. May I breathe into that feeling of safety. And may I be happy in this moment. Whatever else the future may hold, in this moment, could I choose to be content? And maybe to look for the things that bring me some pleasure or ease in this moment. Breathing that into your awareness. And then just relaxing. Relaxing the arm, wherever's comfortable. What are you aware of in the soundscape now? Is there a thrush or a blackbird singing? Is there music somewhere in the distance, or the sound of people talking quietly? Maybe there's a beloved pet somewhere nearby, purring or sleepily huffing somewhere on the floor nearby. Maybe you like the sound of this voice, this accent, this guided meditation. Maybe that's pleasant. And in the moments between the sounds, perhaps there is a gap, a silent space. I wonder, could you rest in that gap, that space of silence, whenever you notice it? And if there are sounds, notice a plane flying overhead, and your mind begins to label or commentate. It's just the mind doing what the mind does. No need to get caught up in a spiral of thoughts about that. Just noticing, oh, there's my mind doing its mind thing. And then just tuning into the sounds again, or the spaces between them. You might hear the sound of a car approaching from the distance, getting closer and closer, louder and louder, and then heading off in the opposite direction, fading into the distance. And that might be interesting to just listen to that. Really listen to it. Noticing how the sounds may be more present on the left side, or behind you, in front of you, or on the right side. Noticing that you can notice those things. Perhaps you can hear the sound of your own breathing. Quietly flowing in and out of your body, and the body moving with that tidal motion of the breath. Maybe you can hear your heart beating. Maybe it's more like a feeling than a sound. Or maybe if you swallow, you can hear that sound in your mouth going down your neck. Just noticing being here now in this pleasant soundscape. On this pleasant evening at the end of the spring, summer fast approaching. And knowing just for the future, you'll be able to tune into the soundscape wherever you are, just for a moment, and listen. Listen to the sound of the voice of a loved one, the laughter of a child, somewhere near where you are. There may even be past sounds that you remember with pleasure of listening to an orchestra or a band playing or a favourite song being sung, and just allowing yourself to immerse your senses in that. I'm going to begin to bring this practice to a close. So before you open your eyes, just listening to this blessing from John O'Donoghue. At the end of the day, a mirror of questions, this is called. What dreams did I create last night? Where did my eyes linger today? Where was I blind? Where was I hurt without anyone noticing? What did I learn today? What did I read? What new thoughts visited me? What difference did I notice in those closest to me? Whom did I neglect? Where did I neglect myself? What did I begin today that might endure? How were my conversations? What did I do today for the poor and the excluded? Did I remember the dead today? Where could I have exposed myself to the risk of something different? Where did I allow myself to receive love? With whom today did I most feel myself? What reached me today? How deep did it imprint? Who saw me today? What visitations had I from the past and from the future? What did I avoid today? From the evidence, why was I given this day? So just gently beginning to let go of this practice. Maybe Introducing a little bit of movement in the fingers and the hands. You're going to rotate your feet at the ankles or your hands at the wrists. Roll your shoulders or have a stretch. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thanks, Lorraine. Thanks very much, everybody, for being here. And I'm going to read out some of the little messages. Meg Kennedy, thank you. Oh, it's great to have you here. And Arena from Canada. Hillary, Nads, Nicola. Yeah, you're all very welcome. I hope that you found that a nice little oasis in the day. If you want to unmute yourselves to say farewell before we end the call, by all means do that. Saudi Arabia. Wow. Hello to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Take care, everyone.
It was
very much.
beautiful. Thank you, Karen, so
Thank
much.
you, everybody. Thank
you. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Karen.
Thanks, Ollie. I really appreciate your help.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Karen.
Ollie.
Take care, everybody. Have a good evening wherever you are. Be safe. Be happy.